Breetah, or Genesis 7. And God said to Noah, enter into the ark, you and all your household, because I have noticed that you are the only righteous person before me in this century, in that age, right? So Noah being the only, indicating here that he's the only righteous man on the planet, or the rest are evil and satanic and all that sort of stuff, wicked, unrighteous, whatever. His sons and his wife and their wives are blessed by God, and protected by God. Okay? They're an exception to the rule. They probably were still sinners, but not on that grand scale as the ones outside, the wicked, unrighteous abominations were, right? Because they weren't doing those abominable things that displeased God. And God said to Noah, enter into the ark, and you and all your household, because I have noticed that you are the only righteous person before me in this century. And from every pure animal taken 7 pairs. Okay, footnote indication there, or indicator there. 7-2. 1 literal Aramaic idiom or expression. 7-7. There you go. So 7 pairs of 7, basically. 7-2-2, literal Aramaic idiomatic construction. 2 male, 2-2, or 2 of 2, probably 2 pairs of 2, being male and female. Okay, so here we are. And also, and from every pure animal taking 7 pairs, male and female, and from the impure animals taking 2 pairs of each. So it's like you had these clean animals that you probably find that you're allowed to take the products from, versus the ones that you're not, okay, because of the different features they have and what they do. So God just allows it. You know, it's in the Torah, it's in the Levitical laws, that sort of stuff. Don't eat pork because it's got this open clove, or whatever the reasons are in it, right? No, you can't touch that, because it rolls in the same poo and all that, eats it, all this sort of stuff. They're very dirty animals. So he's saying there, you take the impure animals taking 2 pairs of each, right? Also the pure, okay, as well as pure. And also from every pure bird taking 7 pairs, male and female, to bring forth offspring over the surface of the earth. So footnote indication. Or faces, literal Aramaic idiom, faces, the face of the earth. Because at the conclusion of the 7th eon, or era, age, immeasurable period, or day with capital D, I will bring down the rains over the earth. It's not saying 1 week later, on the 7th day. Okay, it's talking about day. It's a different kind of day. It's a Creator's day in relation to the lunar solar cycle. Okay. Because at the conclusion of the 7th eon, immeasurable period, age, or era, I will bring down the rains over the earth, 40 days, 40 nights, and I shall wipe out everything I have created that is standing from the face of the earth. Have a look at the old mythos, Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, etc., and it might say 7. 7 days on the water, etc., etc. There's slight differences. The raven was sent out first, then a dove or a pigeon or something like that. There's different variations in those old mythos accounts. And also from every pure bird taking 7 pairs, male and female, to bring forth offspring over the surface of the earth, face of the earth. Because at the conclusion of the 7th eon, or age, I will bring down the rains over the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I shall wipe out everything I've created there standing from the face of the earth. 40 days, 40 nights, probably about an hour equivalent, probably about a month and 10 days, or a bit longer. Could be, very different there. Could be very different. And Noah did everything the Lord commanded him, so he was obedient, right? Didn't change anything. And Noah came along after 600 years, and the flood brought the waters to the earth. Okay, so this is going back again, prior to it, we believe. There's a footnote indication there. 761, literal Aramaic expression was born. That's when Noah was born. Where are we? Noah came along after 600 years, and the flood brought the waters. 6. Just trying to get a head around that one. Oh, yeah, okay, so perhaps it's saying, yeah, a long time ago Noah was born, after 600 years of these people being evil, abominable, etc. And then a flood brought the waters to the earth. 762, the waters from above the sky, from the heavens, as a source for rain. The water on the earth alone would not be sufficient to cause a world flood where the highest mountains were covered. So this water from above would have added to the water below. Is that what it's saying? Because the water below couldn't rise high enough without added water to flood the whole earth, right? Or that geographical location is indicated, i.e. these regions of Mesopotamia. Okay, the flood came, and all these animals, etc., ended up in the ark. Okay, then the water rose up and up and up and up and up. There was a flood for 40 days on the earth, and the water swelled and lifted the ark, and it floated above the earth. So it's on top of the water, right? And all this other thing happened, and the waters penetrated more and more into the earth, and they covered all the mountains and the high places under the entire sky. 15 arms length higher than the highest mountains rose the waters that covered them. So that's kind of, how did they measure it 15 arm lengths? Possibly through the power of the Holy Spirit revealing it to them, right? Or maybe Noah passed this on orally, right? Because God was instructing him, saying, look, it's going to go 15 feet or 15 arms length up. Okay, take note. But he didn't write anything down. It was just all verbal. God to Noah, Noah to whoever came later, right? His descendants to whoever came later. Their descendants, right? They passed it down orally. 15 arms lengths higher than the highest mountains rose above the waters that covered them. Rose the waters that covered them, and all flesh that crawled on the earth disappeared. Because God says, time to repent. Change your wicked ways, and up yours. We'll do what we want to do. We don't need you. He says, well, okay. Time to shut the doors, Moses. There we go again. Noah. Time to shut the doors, Noah. They don't want to repent. So, yep. Off you go. Close the door. Pitch it up, whatever. And you're out of here. Okay, so all flesh that crawled on the earth disappeared, birds, animals, creatures, and every creature that roamed the earth, and all humanity. Whoever had the living breath of life in their nostrils from all the dry lands died, so everybody was gone. And everything that stood over the surface of the earth disappeared, from the human beings to the animal, the crawlers, the birds of the sky. They all disappeared from the earth, and only Noah and those with him in the ark remained. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives, and the animals, right? All different species, bugs, or whatever. So they're all gone. So there's this pseudo graphic mythical retelling that in the 3 organized religions, mainly Judaism and Islam, in the Quran, that these giants they could stand above this water only to a certain level, and they could breathe, right? And so they survived on, according to the scriptures, according to this, according to that. So another one was, I think it was in Judaism, they're 400 feet, in Islam they're 100 feet, or this sort of stuff. So that's why you had these same giants afterwards, because they survived. Or there's another one where these Nephilim, when the flood came, they flew up and up into the heavens or something, and they came back down when the earth was all regenerated, all that sort of stuff. There's many different stories, many different claims, right, of myths, etc., etc., that this happened according to these religious factions. Where are we? And the waters covered the earth completely for 150 days. So would those giants in water be water affected? Because there's no land. You can't go into a land and dry off. Especially if it's above the mountains and there's only like seas and the clouds. That level, way above the mountains. Maybe they had skin problems because they're in water for so long. And there was a flood for 40 days, footnote indication, 717 cycles. Events that were occurring, right? Things that were happening over and over again. Or something that happened continually for this a certain length of time. Well, it was no time as we know, but for that particular period, that era, right? Just kept happening for that length. Repeating. Breetah 8, or Genesis 8, and God recalled Noah, he remembered him, and all the creatures and all the animals and all the birds that were with him in the ark. And God poured out his spirit over the earth and the waters were calmed. So the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Spirit of God, emanated from him and it cleaned everything up, dried everything up. Eventually, right? Or the seas were calm, so there's no more rain and all this sort of stuff, right? No more flooding. And the springs of the abyss were shut because, let's say, the seas, these pits with the water coming out continually, causing it to go up with the rains coming down. Okay, they eventually were shut. Right? God sealed them, so there's no more water gushing out and flooding the earth, causing this and that one. Okay, so, and the springs of the abyss were shut, also the streams of heaven, so yeah, the water below, the water above, it's like someone turned off the tap, and the rain ceased from the sky, and the waters left the earth, they went away and returned, and the waters receded after 150 days. So they basically went down, and went back to how they were normally. You know, rivers, lakes, etc. Seas. The waters left the earth, they went away and returned. As we said, rivers, lakes, etc. And the water receded. It stopped its continuation after 150 days. And the ark settled down in the 7th month, by the 17th of the month, on the mountain of the apes. So this, let's say, we don't know what that month was, let's say Abib, the 17th of Abib, that month, okay, and the ark ended up on the mountain of the apes. Okay, footnote indication here, a 4 literal Aramaic name, Kadu, or Ararat. Yeah? Ararat. So if there's a map with that actual location, that city of it today, or that mountain range, and the remains of an ark were actually found there, there's no scam or hype, you know, to try and get people there, tourists there, to make money with that sort of stuff. That remains are actually Noah's ark after millenniums, then that's where it is. That's the location. Okay. And the waters went down and receded until the 10th month. By the first day of the month, the heads of the mountains could be seen. So the water's gone right down. It's like somebody pulled a plug and was slowly going down the sink. And then after 40 days, Noah opened the ports of the ark that he had made, the doors, or portals, and he sent out a vulture. There's got a vulture. What's a vulture that we know of today? It's a ugly looking bird that picks the remains of dead animals and people and stuff, right? It's a vulture. It's a scavenger that took off without returning, so never came back. 8.7, literal Aramaic expression, exited the exit, no turning back. And again, that's translated from that without using or correcting it, making it a better English grammatical sentence, right? That he's translated into the nearest English equivalent. It's translated from that as it is. And then after 40 days, Noah opened the ports of the ark that he had made, and he sent out a vulture that took off without returning, and he came back until the waters dried from the face of the earth. And he sent one of his pigeons to see if the waters had diminished from the face of the earth. And the pigeon could not find a place to rest his feet, so it was still underwater. And it returned to him, because there was water on the surface of all the earth. And he extended his hand and received it, put it back in, right? Put it in its coop, and it entered the ark to be with him. And he remained 7 more days, and then went back and sent the pigeon from the ark. And the pigeon came to him in the evening, probably the start of the next day. To remember, there's evening first, and then a morning, and that became a day, right? And there was an olive leaf held in its beak, and then Noah knew that the waters had diminished from the surface of the earth. And again he waited 7 more days, and then sent the pigeon, and then he did not request that the pigeon should return to him. Well, he didn't expect it to return, right? It just inkling, right? He didn't say, pigeon, return, Ross, you know? This thing didn't come back anyway. It's the way they expressed it, yeah, these ancients. And it was in the 601st year on the first, that would be the ancient scribes and monks translating it, right? Or hand copying it, what was actually said, yeah? Word for word sort of thing. And it was in the 601st year on the first of the first month, no idea what that is in the Hebrew or the Aramaic, that the waters dried off the earth, the first of the first month. So that would be the first day of the first month. That the waters dried off the earth, and Noah crossed the threshold of the cover to the ark, and he looked out and saw that the surface of the earth was dry. So he had this door, down it went, and he's stepping there. It's like, you know, before you step into your house sort of thing, and he's observing everything that's going on. He sees that the surface of the earth was dry. And the second month, on the 27th of the month, the earth was dry, and God spoke to Noah and commanded him, go out of the ark, you and your wife and sons, together with your sons and women. That's God, and speaking to him in an audible voice. Go out of the ark, you and your wife and sons, together with your sons' women, and all the creatures with you from all flesh, and the birds and the animals and every four-legged animal that walks on the earth. Let them go out with you, that they may give birth on the land, and that they proliferate and increase upon the earth, that they multiply and increase, right? They get together, do the wild thing, and then produce more of their kind, right? From animal to insect. And there went out Noah, he left the ark with his sons, his wife, and the woman of his sons with him, their wives, right? And all the creatures and the animals, all the birds that crawled on the earth, all the birds and all that crawled on the earth, so it'd be birds, animals, insects, according to their kind, exited from the ark. And Noah built an altar to the Lord, and he consecrated the produce of every pure creature. So he's blessed it, right? He's asked for blessings upon it, and of every pure bird, and he raised them to the altar and as the Holocaust. Oh, okay, so he's taking these byproducts. This animal here might have milk, which can turn into cheese, curd, whatever, right? And this one here might have something else, and he's basically doing that. And he raised them to the altar as the Holocaust. It's a sacrifice. Yeah, that's what it means in the Aramaic, from the Aramaic into the English. Holocaust, a little sacrifice or a small sacrifice. Okay? So when you think about the major one, what was that? What was it basically? A huge one, right? And the Lord smelled the scent of fulfillment, and it wasn't God requiring it. It was human beings doing it, creating that. And the Lord smelled the scent of fulfillment and contentment. So these products were like on a barbecue, and they're giving off this odor, this smell, right? The scent, and it reaches God, and He's got these nostrils that can smell it, right? And it's very pleasing. So it could be either that this is God all over, is like a human being, right? And you can smell this. That smells great, you know. What's that cooking and all that sort of stuff, right? Or it's just it's figurative. It's men trying to explain its means thoughts. Okay, so God was happy with this small sacrifice, so we assumed that he could smell it. He enjoyed the aroma. It's just how men think to help or make other people, or the readers, or men and women and children, understand from a human being's mindset perspective, right? Understanding and so forth. And the Lord smelled the scent of fulfillment. There you go. The Lord smelled the scent of fulfillment and contentment, and he said, so literally he could possibly smell it. He had nostrils, he could smell it. Ooh, what's that barbecue cookie? And contentment, he said in his heart, or in his mind, because don't forget it's Aramaic, Hebrew, etc. When they say heart, they actually mean mind, because the heart's a muscle, pumps blood and oxygen around the body, or the lungs do, and it helps in the process. So it doesn't go, hang on a minute, there's a problem I've got to solve. It doesn't have that mindset, whereas the mind has that capability to think, to wonder, to sum up, right? Etc. So he says in his mind, and verbally probably, I will not allow again for the earth to be cursed because of humanity, because of the wickedness, the abomination, etc. Whatever. Right? For the aim of the heart, human heart, is evil from its young days, from birth. 8:21, literal Aramaic idiom, childhood. So you'd have to define childhood. It would be you're innocent, you're a baby born, but supposedly you're born with sin pre-built into you because of Adam's sins, Adam and Eve's sins, right? It's inherited. So you get to a certain stage, certain age, where you start to rebel. Okay, it might be like as a toddler, you throw your food, push your food on the ground, you scream and carry on. You could look at that as a sin, or being naughty, etc., etc. Or if you want to get more technical, you might get to a quite, not say 5 or 6 or something like that. You start rebelling. You start throwing things at your parents, cursing them, rebelling against them, and all that sort of stuff. You just misbehaving. And then you get to an older age, and you're even worse because you're a teenager now, and you don't want anyone telling you what to do. You're a big person now. You know everything. You've experienced everything, even though you haven't, and no one's going to tell you what to do. Yeah, and it might be that you come to this conclusion because you've been taught about God, maybe went to church or something like that, or your parents did, and you're like, nah, that's a little rubbish. I don't believe in that. You know, I got no time for that. I'm going to go out and have fun with all my friends, do what they do, to be part of the popular crowd, drink, smoke, take drugs, whatever, right? No one's going to tell me what to do. And then from there, your wickedness leads to abominations. Your sin, your evils, your wickedness, your habits, whatever, however you want to put it, lead to unrighteousness or whatever it's indicating. Okay, so Noah builds his altar, and from the produce of these animals, he makes a small sacrifice. The Lord smells it, he's happy with it, and he makes this promise that he's not going to flood the earth like he did again. He will not allow all that lives to be struck down again as he did with that great deluge, that flood. And from now on all the ages of the earth, they'll have their seasons for sowing and harvest, rain and drought, summer and winter, day and night without ceasing. So it'll go on. Well, here it seems to be saying forever, right? But probably to a certain time when, Book of Revelations or that sort of stuff. It's all over. Everything gets cleaned up. No more sin. No more all this and that, right? The Holy City of Jerusalem. Everything's gone. New earth, new heaven, new earth, all that sort of stuff. New earth, all that sort of stuff. Up to that point, probably. So that's Breetah, or Genesis chapter 5 through to 8 in detail. We hope that you enjoyed this particular video and the explanations that we've brought you, and it'll open to your eyes. It'll open your eyes to what the original ancient, very old scriptures originally said, in comparison to what you have today, your Americanized English Bible translations, interpretations with their mistranslations, errors, contradictions, and all the other stuff that people say, hey, people claim that you read or hear about. So thank you for taking the time to watch this our latest video. We will continue with Breetah or Genesis 9 and so forth. And again, if you really like this video, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below the video, and then go share this particular video with all your family, friends and others. And we will see you Breetah Genesis 9 through to 10 or 11 to 12.